Welcome to Too Stupid for Web3, the show that tries to make sure you don't end up like me, too stupid to win. And I have the one and only Shacklin with me today. Thank you so much for joining.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
All
Hi,
of 40,
everyone.
all of a 40-second notice. I appreciate that. And to make it, and it was a quiet week in Upland. Um, you know, Uppies hit last week, and so they got their big push out, their big thing, and I was surprised at how quick it came out. I was like, yeah, we're not going to see Uppies till a while. So I was
Right.
surprised.
Yeah. It did happen quickly, and I'm super excited about it. And then the announcements keep on coming.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. And I was just curious as I continued to watch the looking for deals on Uppies. I'll buy anything in the 50K, 60K range right now with the Uppies. And, they talk about the merging of how you can merge and get to a level 10. And then from a level 10, you can get a level 11. And I'm like, what if you just started with all level 1 uppies? How many uppies would
Mhm.
it take? Have you figured this out yet?
No, no. Math kind of melts my brain. And so,
S- So I did a little quick equation. It would take 1024 level 1 uppies to create 2 level 10s.
oh, that's insane.
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot of uppies.
That is a lot
See,
of uppies,
that just feels mean to me. You're
right?
burning like little babies and you're burning children, and then you're burning essential workers and
I mean, if
just
you put it that way, I never looked at it as you were burning little children, but all right, we're there tonight. And
I am super on the fence about how I'm going to handle it personally.
yeah, and
Yeah.
especially with the first releases, do you burn those? Or do you keep
This
those and wait for the next you don't do the generation 0, you wait for the next generation to come out because are these gonna
right.
be a hot commodity collectible or are they what do you do there?
Well, it's a great question. That is the question. And I think that Upland is sitting back there, just loving it because they know that they've put us in this like situation where do we burn them? Do we not burn them? Um, I feel like it reminds me of the early Pokemon, like the very first series of Pokemon, and it would be a real shame if you burnt those.
Right? That that's where I thought, and what I haven't really seen, and I'm not like hawking the market and checking in all the time. I might check it once, maybe twice a day just to see if there are any deals out there. But what I haven't seen either is there's 20 mint, a lot of them are 20 mints. And I haven't seen duplicates. So it's not like, okay, I got a couple of duplicates. I might have three of these so I can burn these two. But yet at the same time, it still goes, these are the original ones. And I think it would be an evil ploy if they released the burn mechanism of the uppies before they release the second series of them. That's evil
Well,
and
that's
twisted.
probably what they'll do.
That is,
Um, because a lot of people are going to burn the origins. A lot of
yes,
people are going to do that. Uh, I would even go so far as to say most people are going to do that.
I am not. I'm. I have a hard time doing it, especially with originals. From being somebody that used to collect sports cards growing up, and I just like collecting things, and the original one is the most valuable one. So I I think I'm going to have to hold on to the origins and then wait for the other ones to come out to start burning those.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do too. And there's one other player that I can think of, and I know that's his plan. I'm not going to say his name, but yeah. Oh,
And what they haven't announced yet either is how much it's going to cost, how much sparklet it's going to cost to
right,
burn. And,
right.
and and I know you have your different level uppies that are out there at different levels, so you get a jump start on some of the 1,024 you need to create 2 level 10s. But how much is that gonna cost you in sparklet? And
Right.
not and it's a double burn, you're spending your sparklet and you're burning your uppies, which
Yes.
you at least the first round, you got UpX and you got your uppies free, or you have, they talk about you're going to be able to hunt for some of these. There's going to be some games where you can win some of these. So that will be interesting to see how those play out. I hope when they have the ones where you can win, some people have more time to be able to, at least make it a game where it's easy for people, the casual player to win the uppies too.
Right.
I
Right.
don't because there's some people, that have more time available, less time available, and
Hmm.
and then you got other people that just go hardcore into it.
Right. I do really hope that it's something that's easy enough, a low enough barrier to entry for the new players, because I think this could really be a thing that draws mainstream players in, but it needs to be easy enough for a new player to grasp and be able to do. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And we've already seen how much people are spending to how much Sparklet people are spending to generate seeds right now.
Hmm.
And is it, do they follow that similar pattern? I know I should know the answer because I think I read it, but lately, my mind's just been mush with this new position at work where it's, where I've lost a lot of stuff that I used to know lately because I'm just hyper focused on a lot of stuff in the work. But to follow the path of how the seeds were, as the higher the demand, the higher the price will be, the lower the demand of the merger. I think that's a fun system.
Hmm.
Dangerous system, but it's more of the demands of the market, which I like.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really fascinating watching how the nursery owners are doing this, because there is a certain amount of epics that is break even for the amount of spark spent. And there's a lot of seeds that are being sold underneath that break even price point. And so I guess that you're supposed to sell the rare ones for more, and it somehow comes out in your favor somehow.
Yeah, it just, I guess, depends on you know how many seeds you're generating and what the outcome is of the seeds that you ended up getting and how you sell it and how you manage that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting to watch some of these nursery owners who are really going hardcore, and it feels like they've got a system down of some sort.
Yeah, this was the first week in a long time that the agency wasn't the top seed generator in the last 7 days.
Mm.
Miss Money took that over, and actually, the agency dropped to fifth. He only generated 860 seeds this week, um,
Oh,
compared to some of his others, other weeks where he's just been insane.
all right.
And the price is averaged out at 5 Sparklet. That's the average cost right now,
Okay.
which isn't which isn't bad at all. And over the last 30 days, the agency though has generated almost 11,000 seeds, and spent
Wow.
spent 52.5K sparklet on that.
Oh my, wow.
And I know Mass and I have talked and said that's just that's a steep price, and you know, good for him. And he's he's making more in he's making more with his sales for the seeds. So, oh wow, oh there we go. Um, just looking at some of the stats, I saw one of a variety shop doing 4.2 million in the last 7 days. So there had to be some sort of deals going on there. Um,
Wow. Gosh.
yeah,
Hmm.
some good sales. Um, yeah. Where did the seeds go? There used to be.
If you click on assets, there should be like a seed packet picture.
Yeah, I was on Uplytics looking at all the sales.
Oh,
So
okay.
I get addicted to that site, and I go down a rabbit hole with all
Mhm.
the great things that Laban did there.
It is an amazing site. I really love Uplytics. It's so incredible that Laban offers that to us free of charge.
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing.
And then I was poking around under my portfolio today, and I really liked my visitors. I was just always curious of how much I was earning from visitors versus what I was earning from my um, just property earnings.
Hmm.
And he does have one up now. Um, it doesn't it doesn't look it looks like it's missing something a little. Not really sure because I know if I look in Upland how many visits I've had for the day, it just doesn't align exactly.
Hmm.
So
Oh, interesting. I'm
yeah,
going to have to check that out.
I don't know what, but I was excited to see that. So I was,
Yeah, that's really cool. I
yeah.
didn't know that was there.
No, I found it before the show as I was poking around, looking at some things, and I was like, oh wow, interesting.
Cool. I need
Because
to find more time to check that site out thoroughly. I
yeah,
have like I get the certain things that I use, and I just keep going back to those without exploring.
yeah.
I need to explore more.
Yes, you do. Because right now he's tracking that I've had 9 visitors in the last 24 hours, and I've had 66. So
Oh,
there's something missing, just a little.
okay. All right. Hmm.
And today, Dizzy's had 301 visitors to his property.
Well, good job, Dizzy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Abdullah had 248, King Cody 178, TM 173, and Locky 173. So kind of a big fall off, but Dizzy does own a lot of properties. So does Abdullah. So does TM. So do all those people right there. So
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious why Dizzy would have more visitors than Abdullah. Because who's the number one property owner?
um I think
Uh,
Abdullah
Yeah, that's what I think too. Interesting.
just must be I know yeah, I don't know where I haven't compared Dizzy's concentration of properties to Abdullah's concentration of properties to be able to intelligently answer that question.
If I'm gonna guess that Dizzy focuses a little bit more on location.
Yeah. And I know he has a lot in Chicago and Manhattan. And looking at the treasure hunting stats that are on Uplytics too, it um, shows a lot of activity in those areas.
Kachow has a very interesting idea. He thinks it's visitor fees, and that's a really good suggestion.
Yeah, and I know I've slacked. I used to have that as a, you know, at least a monthly routine where I went through all the cities and made sure I set it to the lowest setting for that city. And I know I haven't done that in a while. And I've bought new properties. Um,
Mhm.
no, I bought some new properties, so I know my fees aren't where they used to be.
Right. That's something I'm always forgetting to do, is to go in and make sure that I have the lowest in every city. Um, so if anybody ever finds me, like tries to land on my property and I'm not at the lowest send fee, please shoot me a DM.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just wish there was like an option in the settings to set all your properties across the game, just not the city.
Yeah, me too. Very, very much so.
And it
Hmm.
wasn't bad. It wasn't bad when you had a lower amount of cities, but now you're just like, where did I pick up properties?
Right, right. No, it, yeah, we've grown past the, we need a global option now, in my opinion.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's and I'm like, when do I have time to go click around on each each city
Right.
and make sure it's set right. Now, I know last week's show I jumped into the how the upland economy was 2 years ago. So I was like, why don't we go back just a little bit farther and look at 3 years ago? And last week I just looked at UpX, and this time around I also did pull in the US dollar. So I'm excited to jump into jump into that. And here is the list of cities that were available on January 26, 2023, and what their price is today in 2026. Um, Arlington made a nice little come up. I know people like to treasure hunt in Arlington.
Wow.
Um, I was shocked to see the change there. Um, and I can't say they like to. I can't say they like to treasure hunt in Arlington because there's only been 25 chests found there in the
Yeah.
last 24 hours. But you know, you have places like Washington that had 764, Manhattan 473, Queens 513, Santa Clara 503, San Fran 332, Chicago 310. So it, it's not even like it's a high treasure hunting um, hub. So I was surprised to see the um, you doubled if you bought it back in 2023, 3 years later, you doubled your
Wow.
money.
No,
Doubled your UPX.
that's really great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of green.
Mhm.
Um, had Porto, Kansas City, New Orleans. They were all above 30% growth over the last 3 years. Los Angeles, Fresno, and Dallas were over 20%. Nashville and Cleveland over 10%. And then Rutherford. Rutherford always stayed high as they were a treasure hunting city for a while. Now we also have a couple more cities that didn't do as well. If you bought Buenos Aires, down 38% from about 10,500 UpX to 6,500 UpX. Big drop there. And
Wow.
Manhattan was sitting at 92,000 UpX for their floor, and now they're sitting currently at 80,000 UpX. And the poor Genesis City is down about 10% over the last 3 years. That is one of the things that has made me sad is early on in Upland, San Francisco was the Genesis City. We were going to test everything in the Genesis City, and I know that becomes more difficult because it's minted out and because you have a lot of inactive players in San Francisco. Um, So I get why they don't want to test stuff out in San Francisco. They need to make it
Mhm.
more global, more broader. But that was a selling point early on to, get as much San Francisco uh, as you could, because you thought there was going to be value for a secondary market, because people would want to get in and be part of the new thing before it was released to other cities.
That makes sense. I've been really sad to see San Francisco struggle. I jumped in pretty heavily on the secondary at high prices when I was a new player, because San Francisco seemed like a no-brainer to me, and I didn't even know that what you just said.
Yeah.
But I guess, Upland has to pivot. If you end up with a city where a whole bunch of people have kind of gone dormant, it's not a great testing city. So even if that's what they intended, maybe it doesn't work so well anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, you have more cities in the green that were released at the time in 2023 than you do have in the red.
Mm.
And with the exception of Buenos Aires and Bronx, and it's not that bad. Um, then I said, I wonder how US dollars were doing if you bought something in 2023, and
Ooh,
it did not look pretty at all. It
wow, golly.
I was optimistic with the green from the Upex side of the house, and then we come over to
Mm.
US dollars and call it what it is. It was a bloodbath. Santa Clara, was their floor was sitting at $27.68. Today you can pick it up for $8.50 for a 69.3% drop in floor price.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. San
Oh,
Francisco
that's really something. Wow.
San
Mm.
Francisco is sitting at $12.39 floor. Um, and it's now down to $4. Rutherford was 27.45. It's down to 9.99. And then Manhattan was $44.68. And I can't even remember what I said back in the day, that if Manhattan's US dollar hit a certain price, I would be buying it up as fast as I can. And now you can buy it for $16.99.
So are you going to buy it up as fast as you can?
No, no, I have changed that stance. Um, yeah, Buenos Aires is down 57%. Bronx is down 45.45. Dallas is down 45%. Arlington's down 42%. Oakland's down 41%. Vegas is down 40%. Staten Island's down 40%. KC's down 37%. Um, and as you can see, other than Santa Clara, San Francisco, Rutherford, Manhattan, Dallas, and Arlington, everybody's sitting at the $3 holler floor. And then we go on to the next page, and everybody on the next page is all at $3 also. So
Wow.
it is the US dollar side is not the greatest right now.
Right, right. So these are all probably generic properties.
Yes.
So we would see different stats if we were looking at nodes and
Mhm.
locations, like, right.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't had a chance to dig into that, but that's something that I am working on with I did tease that I'm working on somebody who's having fun um learning about Upland and the fun stuff that we can do with this data. So I'm excited for that, and
Okay.
I'm looking to see what we can put together there and how soon he can put that together. And that's something, um for 5 over 5 years, of something that I always wanted, and that's my own fault for never going out and pursuing it myself, and always counting on other people that promised me things. that we would do things. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's on me, but we're making it happen this year in 2026.
Sweet. Well, it's super exciting, something to look forward to.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Drifter. I'm working on a better metric than, but this is just, this was a fun little thing. I had some time before the show, and I was, uh, I was like, let's take a look. People liked looking back in time last week, so I said we can do a little comparison today and add the U.S. dollar for it. Um, in some places, I wouldn't doubt it. There, ka-chow, a penny for the floor. I don't know. I don't know. Where do you think it would drop out? I think somewhere 50 cents, 50 cents to a dollar. So I don't know if it would go to a penny. Where do you see, Shaq? Your guess. If there
Uh,
wasn't a cap.
I don't know, maybe around $1, maybe 50 cents, but people have to be willing to part with it. It has to, at some level be worth it to them to not just keep it. So I don't think you can go too cheap.
Right. I mean, at a penny, you're just giving it away.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just giving it away. So that was the fun exercise of the week.
Well, it's really interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was excited for I always loved the numbers. It was always fun.
Hmm.
Numbers were always fun. And then we just expanded and got complex and then fun stuff. Also, I forgot to mention we are almost at the end of January and we have another Upland meetup coming up. Quicker than you
Oh,
know.
that's right.
Quicker than you know. And I'm still trying to figure out how I make it happen for myself.
Are you trying to go to New Orleans?
Yeah, we have unfortunately we have a gymnastics meet that weekend, so I don't know. I can't, and it's not local. We have to travel 4 hours away for the gymnastics meet. So it definitely is a challenge trying to figure out how to make it happen. And not looking good at the moment. I was even
Right.
trying to do like Neptune and fly in and fly out, you know, do a quick turnaround like my first Genesis week. Um, but that still wasn't looking too great. But we do have the NOLA meetup 2026 March 6th through 8th. Friday nights, the early bird pre party. Those are always fun. Saturday's the main event. And City Pigeon and Cohen 98 did a great job of putting together the schedule for the day. And it has, you can do as you please. You can do the whole day with everyone, or you can jump in and out of stuff. And then Sunday, they call it a recovery and recap day, but they do have a lot of stuff on that schedule for Sunday too. So they're keeping you well entertained throughout the weekend. Um, yeah.
It looks
So
like it's going to be a really great time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I know I was talking about moving the Midwest meetup to August, but I'm thinking July might be better because August we start dealing with getting back to school for the kids around here.
Mhm.
But this year, I know Wolf suggested doing something on Lake Erie, and we do have a couple of boats that go out onto the lake that do little tours up and down the coast and down the river a little bit. It's either that or a tiki barge that goes up and down the river and you BYOB. So that can be dangerous too. Either way, um, and City Pigeon and Cone really set the bar for 2026 meetups with what they're putting together. Yeah, yeah, trying to make that happen. Wolf trying to get the Cleveland crew down there in NOLA. I know a wolf figures out every way possible to get to these places. So, oh yeah, and it's been. I was stationed an hour away from NOLA when I was in the Navy, so was stomping grounds for a few years there. But it's been a while since I've been there. And ladies, if you're going, do not wear open toe shoes down Bourbon Street. Do not wear open toe shoes, and you'll thank me later for it.
What what happens to open toe shoe people on Bourbon Street?
Um, the
Or how's
lick
it pronounced? Bourbon or
no, Bourbon Street, yeah. Um, the liquids on the street, you really don't know what those liquids are and what parts of the body those liquids came from.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Well, that's special.
yeah. um,
So I heard, I don't know if it was on the um, Upland After Dark, but I remember, no, sorry, or meant to be, but City Pigeon was talking about how Bourbon Street is pronounced.
oh,
And
okay.
there's the way that it's pronounced if you actually live there. And then there's the
Yes,
way that everyone else pronounces it. And everyone
true.
else pronounces it Bourbon Street.
Yes.
So what do the locals call it? I forget.
It's been too long. It's been too long because everybody, like it's New Orleans, and I've lost the southern accent that I had down there where I could say New Orleans a little bit better, but everybody's like New Orleans or New Orleans. So,
Uh,
uh, y- yeah. Oh, yeah. You definitely got to pace yourself in NOLA. We had a captain that took I don't we always made up the story that his wife wouldn't let him go, so he made us all go to New Orleans and took the ship made the ship go there for President's Day weekend. Um, so it was February timeframe, and it was a late Easter, so Mardi Gras wasn't going on at the time, so it was pretty chill. But still February, you're hitting a decent temperature down there, and that year we hit Bourbon Street and one in the afternoon or so, 2 o'clock, and they had happy hours, 3 for 1. So you're like, sweet, I'm getting 3 beers for one. Um, and then you're like, oh, it's kind of warm though, and my beers are sweating. So you're like, I got to get to the third one, and you're like, oh, I'm done with the third one. So it was a vicious cycle you got yourself into with the beers. Um, and then it led to going to one of the corner shops that it was a hurricane shop, and they had something called Blue Crack. And I don't know if it was Everclear or Goldschlager. They put something that really shouldn't go in sugary drinks to really knock you on your ass. And then I spent $18 eating a half a pizza. Yeah, and then the night didn't end well, but at least I made it back to the ship to sleep. In the morning when we went out to go get breakfast, we found one of the guys from the ship. He like put his arms and legs, like somehow he got his legs in his shorts and his arms in his shirt, and he was just sleeping on a park bench as we're walking through. We're like, bro, like they were like, you might not want to do that. Fun
that's
times,
funny.
but and then I got on a mission. It's like if I hit a certain level, I'm just on a mission, and you could be like, if I'll give you $1 million if you do. I'm like, nope, I'm just on the mission. And that night, my mission was to get back to the ship, and probably was for the best. But yeah, it's always interesting and always a fun time down there.
I think I am going to regret that I'm not going. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. So I guess I look forward to hearing reports come back from the people that do go.
Yes, and it
Yeah.
looks like they already got a good RSVP list going on, and they'll have a good turnout there. So I hope to make it, even if I fly in and fly out. Turn it all around. Turn it all around. Oh, So, Wolf, where are you at? Are you +1? Oh, you're still +1. You're always +1. That's good. I
Sometimes
thought
he's
you,
plus two.
yeah, sometimes he's +2. Sometimes he's +2. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Also, the only big announcement this week in Upland was the construction hub, saying the construction hub is coming. Um, what what were your thoughts on the construction hub announcement?
Well, I love it, and I'm excited because I have been buying all of the service structures. And so, what I like about the construction hub is one, it means that, like, not everyone has to buy service structures because there's people that don't want to buy them, there's people that can't buy them. And this way, they still have the ability to have those structures built, even if they don't buy them. So, I like that. I also like it because it provides another stream of revenue for the players, like those of us that do buy them. That's another like job that we can employ ourselves with in Upland, is running around earning a little bit of extra money by starting these constructions for people. Or, well, they start the construction, and then we actually put the building up.
Right.
My words, I'm using the wrong words, but
No,
hopefully you all know what I mean.
that's kind of pretty much they have the construction contract out there, um, and you have to be in discovery range of their property to be eligible to accept the contract. Um, Now you have to click to travel there, which will be interesting. I wonder how many people are going to race to different places to accept these contracts. Um, and because it's first come, first serve. But the interesting part is the person's already staked their sparklet. So for the people that have the blueprints, you're just getting paid for your blueprint, which is nice. You don't have to commit any of your sparklet.
Right,
But then that makes
right.
me wonder, I was yes, there's third party places for Spark and it- they work very well, but that's so I don't know. I was hoping that there would be something in game to do with staking Sparklet from other players, not
Mm.
not in a third party aspect with the construction hub. I because if you don't have, I mean, yeah, you go ahead, you give them you accept their contract, and you do get a cooldown period. I'm just intrigued to see how it all works out because
Yeah.
it just says the person will already stake the sparklet. It doesn't say it will be the full sparklet or partial sparklet, just to get it started. Um, yeah, I'm just, or,
Well,
and
I
that's
think
nice.
yeah, I think they can stake the minimum spark. We come through and we put we build the planetarium or whatever it is.
Hmm.
And then we have nothing more to do with it.
Yep.
And they have their build with their minimum spark, and then it's up to them. Do they want to rent some off the exchange? Do they want to add more when some of their builds free up? I mean, it's kind of, once you go through and get paid to start the building, everything else is the same as
Yeah.
it is right now. So,
And I know and I don't like when they put prices on there because then people are like, oh, the article said, showed 15,000 UPX for
mm.
this style. Um, or just put something ridiculous on there. Well, no, because people would take it the other way too, because then they'd put ridiculous prices of, uh, you know, but it'll be interesting. Hopefully that's something that the data people we get to track, just seeing the average price for the contracts for the different structures that are out there. then
Well,
oh, go ahead.
well, just to Kachal's question about what the demand's going to be, since there's limited properties big enough for so many of these service structures. I mean, that's true, but Upland's going to keep releasing cities.
Yep.
And over the years, uh, as as these cities keep getting released and more players are coming into the game, I mean, assuming that we get lots of new players entering the game and it's years down the road, those of us that have been buying the service structures starting in the year 2025, it could really turn into a thing where we have a whole bunch of places we can go around to starting these structures and getting paid for it. It's like everything else with Upland. A lot of things are hard to tell right now,
Oh
but
yeah.
years down the road, there could really be something to this. I don't
I
know.
absolutely agree. And Wolf just says another avenue to earn some UpX. So you can't argue with that.
That's right.
And but still I still have my gripe with I wish some of these service structures were priced in UpX, you know.
Mm,
And you can you can redesign and re-release some of these service structures too, because
mhm,
everything doesn't look the same across. Yes, they have the different styles for the different, hey, that this that we get in the expansion bundles, that this type is locked to North America, or this is locked to Europe, this style of building. But you can still re-release all the fire stations across the world don't look the same. So you can have multiple fire stations.
mm,
And I would just like to I want to see the growth of the game. And part of the growth of the game is getting the freemium players to spend their money. But if you're not giving the freemium players something to spend their in-game currency on, you're not going to entice them. But yeah, I would like to just see some of these service structures offered for UpX each week too. 2 and 2, 3 and 3 doesn't matter, and you have unlimited availability to regenerate some of these buildings because they look different all across the world. So it's not like you're stuck, and
right.
and you still have the chance to give us new buildings for cities it itself. Okay, we're getting service structures. What about buildings that are styled in the different city styles themselves? You've
Hmm.
had the limited releases on some of the launches. You've had, you know, but there's so much that can be done. And you could even start. I know this isn't happening, but I really wish it was happening, that they were just stockpiling like different styles of buildings so they can just keep rolling these out. And, you know, I'm done beating this dead horse, but please offer stuff for UpX, service structures for UpX too. Yeah. I
Hmm.
don't I don't know if it's good when Swarley agrees with me and if I'm on that same page or not. No, I love you, Swarley. Just messing with you. Yeah. But it's part, and that's what we want, because we want Upland to grow. We want more than 9,000, 10,000 daily active users in Upland, which it was steady for 2025. So you have a dedicated base. Now, how do we grow that base? Um, and that's doing this, having more things in the store more frequently, having things that people can spend UpX on to enhance their in-game playing experience, and that's what it's going to take. That's one of the things. That's not the end all be all solve all. It's going to bring you 100,000 daily users, but that's part of the thing. The season passes are great. Right now we're in between seasons, and there was nothing really said about in between this season. It's just kind of like up in between seasons. I understand Sparklet Wars. They were tweaking and all that. I get that, but let's do something in between seasons.
Yeah, it's a pretty quiet in between seasons, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm kind of enjoying the break because I'm still trying to catch up with moving my map assets.
Yeah. Yes. So,
So this would be a good opportunity actually to make sure that everybody out there has heard of the bulk asset mover,
oh yeah.
um, that Liban created with the Uplit. It's an Uplytics plugin on Google. It's a Google plugin called
Yes.
Uplytics bulk asset mover,
Yep.
and it's amazing. So if you are having trouble getting all of your map assets moved from your factories to your showrooms, make sure that you try out the Google plugin made by Liban called the Uplytics bulk asset mover.
Yeah. It's just called
Yeah,
Uplytics Asset Mover under
thank you.
external tools.
All right, thank you.
And he says it's API safe, smart placement, and secure.
Yeah, he makes just incredible tools for us to use. So thank you to Laban.
Yes. And on there you got Swirly's Ornament Magic Mover and Blurry Beast
Oh my
Asset Mover
gosh.
too.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
the auto scroll search.
The
So
auto scroll.
if you have a large prop or a large collection of properties, it makes it a lot easier when filling your collections, especially for the common uh, like nomads and all those fun collections. So yeah, like I was trying to I had some fun experiences this week in the home, and unfortunately I just don't think they're appropriate for the show with the kids. I mean, but then I think about it, and a lot of us watching the show and all that, we're all about the same age, so we'll get it. And so I was like, I go definitely gonna share it. So as I said, my new position at work's pretty demanding. I'd spend more time than I'd like on the weekends right now, doing work. And it was last Sunday afternoon, and I was walking from where I was working, cut through the dining room, through the living room. My youngest boy, he's sitting there on our chase, and he's got a TV tray pulled out, and he's got a sheet of paper, and he's got math problems wrote on it. I'm like, "Oh, you playing school, buddy?" And then my youngest daughter's sitting across from him. She's got a big whiteboard out, and she's got math problems up there, and she's teaching them. And she's like, "Yep, we're playing school. He's a student. I'm the teacher. He's in special needs, and we're just doing some math." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty fun." Wait, what? And she's like, "What?" I go, "What class are you in?" She's like, "Special needs." I'm like, "Why is he in special needs?" And she said, "Well, he can't read and he can't do math." I said, "But he's not in school yet. He's on track." "Well, I know that, but we're pretending we're in second grade and he can't do any of it, so he's in special needs." And my wife was sitting there on the couch, and then she finally so it finally like clicked on where this conversation was going also. And she's like, "Wait, what?" And we locked eyes, and then once we locked eyes, that's when I lost it. I'm like, I go, "We're not gonna play school that way." And then I walked out of the room, and then had a good laugh, came back, and I'm like, "All right." I said, "You can't put your brother in special needs." I'm s- and you can't I said, "When we're playing school, we're just playing at grade appropriate levels. Nobody's in special needs. When you play with your friends, you're not in special needs." And my son's like, "I like being in special needs." I'm like, "Please don't say that at school, buddy." I go, "He goes to preschool. He's going to say something about being in special needs." And his preschool has a class of special needs
Mhm.
kids too. So I'm like, "This is not going to end well. We're going to get a call from the teacher." And I'm trying to explain to my daughter, I'm like, "Look, yeah, I'm like, first off, what do you know about like why? I'm like, no, I'm just done. Wait. When you play school, you just play grade appropriate level. So yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever heard of that scenario before.
And I'm like, and then I think about it. I'm like, we didn't call it that class growing up. So I said, we were a lot meaner of what that class was called growing up. So I was like, yeah. So, yep. I'm like, just shook my head. Yeah. Now, my oldest daughter, yeah, that one's inappropriate for the show fully. So I'm good on that one. That will be it. That will be an after show story. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Oh yeah. So hopefully everybody's preparing for the big freeze, snow, all that fun stuff. Come on, Hyde Park. You're going to get snow and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So, no, but, and see, I started out with beer. I started out with beer tonight on the show. I was like, well, we're getting a cold snap. So I just went with Sam Adams cold snap for the evening to kick off the weekend. Um, yeah. Oklahoma. Okay. Ja Rashad's going to be okay, I think.
I used
Yeah.
to love snow days.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
now with the kids having iPads and Chromebooks, depending on the grades that they're in, after they hit enough calamity day, and they don't even call them snow days, they call them calamity days now.
Seriously?
Yeah, they're
Calamity?
well, one day early in the school year, they didn't have school because they didn't have enough bus drivers. So they canceled school because they didn't have enough bus drivers. Another day they lost power. So um, yeah, so they didn't have that. And so
Calamity.
yeah. So they have two, then they had two for cold because we've had a couple cold snaps here where the wind chill was -15, -20 today. So um hey, fly in before it gets here, Swarley. We'll have a good time. I got a hill. We'll go sledding down the hill too. Closest to the creek wins. If you fall in, you got to run up the hill and get dry really quick or you'll catch hypothermia, but it would be a good time. Hey, you haven't had snow yet? Ka-chow? Wow. Hmm. All right. You got anything else before we get out of here, Shaq?
No, I don't think so. I would like to thank the community for all of your prayers and your love for my stepson. Um, so yeah, I appreciate very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me tonight. Really appreciate you helping me out. And everybody be safe, have fun, and we'll see you next week.